Hello, this is Total Transparency, and I have a little special guest here. This is Casper. My black cat had a Siamese kitten. Don't ask me how, I don't know how genetics work. That wasn't my major, sweetie. But today I wanted to do my final thoughts before my appointment tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be seeing a men's health physician who is going to probably take my blood work and start prescribing testosterone. And there's been something a lot of people have asked before then. So, I mean, a lot of the cisgender people I know don't really understand the weight of trans issues. They don't understand how somebody could identify otherwise. So, there's one question I've gotten. It's kind of malformed, but it really does sum up my thoughts about tomorrow. The question is, what are you going to miss about living as a woman? I think this question is malformed because it does assume my gender, as the trolls would say, but I'm being sarcastic when I say that, but it's kind of malformed because it really does assume that I really identified with that or really enjoyed it, because I didn't. I didn't. And what I'm about to say is not a reflection on all women by any means, and I don't conflate this with womanhood, because this is so much more than people. We'll get into a discussion about that eventually, but I had an ideal life as a woman, and I still wasn't happy. The term ideal is pretty subjective, but I grew up in a culture that valued certain things. That culture is upper middle class WASP white women. I won't go into toxic femininity or anything like that. I'm not even going to address that in this, but the thing that we were taught to value as young girls, even though I was trans at a very early age, was basically to be a brat doll and a mean girl. Not all women are like this, and not every culture is like that. But the definition of womanhood that I grew up with was to be popular, to have men throwing themselves at your feet, to have that fancy husband, that shiny car, the best haircut in the world, all the designer clothes money could buy, and find you a man that can protect you. I don't think that's an ideal life by any means, and it's very shallow, but it's just the environment I found myself in. And honestly, sad confession is I did have that ideal woman life, like female life. I was that kid who was the prom queen, who had football players as boyfriends, who was loved, who was cared about. I was the life of the party, even though I'm autistic. Don't ask me how that works. I just have this weird charisma despite being awkward. And I don't want to sound like I have my head shoved up my own ass, but that's the life I led. I don't know how it ended up like that. I never made popularity a goal, but it's what I ended up with. And my sisters hate me for that reason. I'm sure there's much more to it than that, but I was every little girl's dream. I was the prom queen, I was homecoming court, I had the prettiest dresses, the prettiest goth boots money could buy, the big titty goth girlfriend look, beautiful makeup. I was beautiful. But you know what? I wasn't happy. I could have had everything in the world. Every man, every fancy little thing people like. I could have all the titles in the world, but nothing would have ever filled the void I had, that people forgot about, and that Nobody really seemed to grasp. It went deeper than just some black makeup and some spiky boots and a can-do attitude. I was trans, and that was my deep, dirty little secret. It was what I hid from the world. Something I refused to acknowledge at all. A lot of the time, because I was taught to be ashamed of that. I could have had everything in the world, everything else. You could be the next Britney Spears, but none of those things fill the void. So what am I gonna miss about being a Mrs.? Nothing. Nothing at all. I wasn't a Mrs. I was so deep in the closet, I was in Narnia. And I was going absolutely insane because of it. I was into alcohol and everything else to fill that void, to numb the pain. I was getting worse and fucking worse. It wasn't going to get better. I felt like I needed fixing at times and like I should send myself to conversion therapy. Like shock the gay away kind of stuff, and that I was some filthy, vile sinner. But one day I learned that those things weren't true. One day I had to come to the sad conclusion that all those things, all the beauty in the world, all the status in the world, will never change me. And it's not going to fill the void. Pardon me if I sound like I have my head shoved up my own ass, but it's just the situation I found myself in. I never picked it. Just put some stuff on the internet, and one day people showed up. It was only a kiss. How did it end up like this? I'm joking, but I am the kind of guy who smiles through his tears after all, but I have zero regrets about tomorrow. I miss nothing. Tomorrow is nothing but mercy and relief. Because the truth is, I couldn't sustain that lie forever. I couldn't live under a guise forever. It started with a little pink outfit on picture day that I was forced to wear at the threat of expulsion and some conversion therapy threats. And one day it turned into a 26-year lie. It snowballed into something I couldn't control anymore. So as much as people were like, I'm so proud of Ash for being herself, I was a liar. I was somebody filling that void with things that would fade one day. This is permanent. Even if I had nothing in the world, even if I was the ugliest man in the world, had no friends, was a virgin, everything you could imagine, all the stereotypes. If I lost my job, my home, my pets, my husband, my family, but I woke up on that park bench in my little tent with a beard and everything else, I'd still be happy. And it would still be preferable to living a lie. I won't miss a damn thing. Eventually, a lie becomes so extreme that it becomes like a cancer. It becomes impossible to maintain, and before I knew it, I was walking around with a tumor or a chain and ball strapped to my leg. Tomorrow, I find out what it really means to live. I know it's permanent. I know I can't take this back. But there is nothing I will miss. Nothing at all. If I become homeless for being trans, if, hell, the Trump Gestapo, I'm being sarcastic when I say this, I mean, wouldn't be shocking, but I mean, hell, if the evangelical Gestapo knocked down my door tomorrow and took me away, I would have no regrets. I don't believe in heaven or hell. I don't believe that the purpose of my life is to maintain wealth and status in order to get something. I don't want to be the next Britney Spears. I don't want to be the next person in Hollywood. I've spent so long being that. I want to be happy. And I know that sounds cheesy, but I'm sorry. I know that sounds cheesy, but tomorrow is nothing but mercy. The 26-year nightmare ends, and I get to start over. I get to go through puberty 2.0 and all the struggles that come with it. But this time I get to be me, and that's what's beautiful. I don't need fixed anymore. I don't want conversion therapy. I don't want to be the prettiest woman in the world. I just want to be Ash. I want to grow up into the man that never got to be because some misguided adult said they had my best interest in mind, and they didn't. Tomorrow, I am a free man. And I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I know it's kind of heavy, but my final thought is that I'm not gonna miss a damn thing. Come what may, bring it on. This has been total transparency, and I wanted to do this final vlog before I start my medical transition tomorrow. Peace out.